All right. Oh, whoops. All right. All right. So we're here with Newsboy Hoy. Haven't called him yet, but yeah, still need to do that. Let's go ahead and just call him. So yeah, I don't know. I ran really fast. Okay, let's call him right here. Skadoof. All right. Hopefully you can hear him. If you can't, then I don't know. Let's do something with your life. Hello. I am assuming they can hear you. I don't know if they can.
Sure, they can. They never want to be able to not hear me.
So,
I don't think sure. But yeah, are you filming and stuff like that?
I'm yes.
Can you hear like a ton of your interference because of the fan? Because I have a fan on because it's like extremely hot in our room. So if you hear a bunch of interference, just tell me.
All right. Actually, I'm going to turn off the fan in this room too. Get chair.
So like, yeah, I'm just having a fan because otherwise I get like really sweaty, which is an amazing for all YouTube viewers. But I know that we are talking about Dark Knight today, correct?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, y'all know how much I love Dark Knight. Well, maybe you don't. But, I mean, if you've been watching Nathaniel's channel for a while, it probably means you've been watching my channel for a while because, like, if you're watching one of our channels and you're not watching the other, it's kind of, like, not smart sometimes.
Is also kind of impossible because all of the self-promotions and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, with all that.
Yeah.
I should be promoting your channel more. Like, you promote my channel a ton, and I'm always like, if I was talking about your channel, and I hardly ever talk about it unless you're on a video with me. I should just be like, everybody subscribe to this channel.
But hey, you have 100 subscribers. You know.
I have 108 subscribers.
108. That's true. That's true. You're kind of almost on your way to 200. Very nearly, kind of ish.
I'm just going one at a time. I hit 100. I have to made this like get famous or whatever because the famous people end up being turds sometimes. So
that we know too well.
Too well, yeah. But anyway, the Dark Knight. Do you want to how do you want me to do this here? Do you want to talk first about the Dark Knight?
I'll just listen to what you say because that's normally how these things go. I just listen to what you say and I just nod and say yes. I know a lot about movies, but you know more about the Dark Knight.
But then usually you come in with something, so you want me to just do what I do and then you just do what you do eventually?
Sure.
Because usually during one of these talks, we somehow get into an argument about Phoenix. Because, I don't like Phoenix as much as he does. He really likes Phoenix as Joker.
Joaquin Phoenix. The special.
Phoenix is kind of a weird guy. Like him personally, he's really weird.
He looks odd.
He looks very odd. A movie you can watch with Phoenix is called Walk the Line.
Oh yeah, Johnny Cash.
Yeah, the Johnny Cash movie. It's pretty good. It's a little odd, but this is a Joaquin Phoenix movie, so no one expects it to be not odd. Cool, man. What's up front?
This was.
Really?
It was released in 2005.
Oh. Well, I'm kind of on YouTube.
Can you look it up on IMDb?
I don't think you could watch it on the phone now.
Nope.
I'll mute myself so that, I'll be back again.
Alright.
Entertain the viewers for a little while.
I will try. Alright. If you don't subscribe to Newsboy Hoy, Satan's gonna get you. Also, Walk the Line looks like a pretty cool movie. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I'm back.
He's back. I told them that if they don't subscribe to you, they're gonna go to hell. So, yeah. Hello? That's not good. Well, that's really not good. Let's try that again. Huh. Well, that's odd. All right, well, let's try this. Here we are. Hello.
Daniel,
Hello.
I'm very sorry, microphone failed.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
you
that's
gotta
good.
get this has been like probably almost now. Maybe first time Dark Knight. So
6 minutes.
all right. Well, is anyone even watching right now?
There's one person.
Un person.
Yes.
Whoever that un person is, you get a brick.
Oh, he gets a brick.
I should do something that like is nice to my viewers. I'm not nice to my viewers. I'm nice to them. Like I make some videos. What else?
Exactly.
That's what they're watching for, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, my trilogy. Okay. Starts off with Batman Begins. I feel like we just talked about this last night, so I'm not going to go over what I said last night. Basically, to sum it up, you know, for those of you that weren't here, so if you're not Nathaniel.
Hello. Did he die? Oh, there's still one person. Hello. Ah, well, that's not good. This was working just fine 6 days ago. Let's try to call him again. Don't want to accidentally call Dan. That would not be very good. You want to see some? Oh, hello. All right. He's not answering. You guys want to see some cool tricks?
Yeah.
All right. So while we're waiting for him, you want to see some cool tricks? Yeah, but you can't do that at home. Oh, look what I do with this little pencil here. Yeah. Oh, there he is. All right. Hello.
I'm sorry, my fault.
Now it's good.
Okay, so Dark Knight, I can play 24 hours, right? However, it is, in theory, the best movie ever, and here's why. Because of its story. So, you look at the top 4 movies of IMDb. There's The Shawshank Redemption, The Godfather Part 1, I think, maybe Part 2. Either first 2 Godfather movies, and then this, right? Now, here's why Dark Knight really should be at the top. Because The Shawshank Redemption, well, a good movie, granted, it's a great movie. Morgan Freeman's performance is awesome. It's not Morgan Freeman's best movie. Morgan Freeman's best movie is The Dark Knight. Because The Dark Knight has a much better story. It's much more elaborate. Like, that movie just really keeps you on edge the entire time. Like, even at the end. Like, the end doesn't really fix anything. You're still on edge. Like, if you're on edge and then the movie ends and then you're just kind of like, well, I guess yeah. Like, that's just how it is. Like, you hit an end and you're like, oh, I feel really good about it now. No, it actually just, like, makes you more mad than you were walking into it. And, like, with some movies, like, Star Wars 9, if you walk out angry, it's a bad thing because, like, I'm actually angry at the people that made this movie because, like, they did a horrible job. But when you have movies like, The Dark Knight and you walk out kind of angry but, like, also sad and blown away,
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting. But yeah, it's a very, very good movie. And I guess why I think I've seen The Godfathers, okay? I'll probably watch it like when I'm in college or something. I probably won't watch it for a while. But I've heard they're very good, and I've heard they're crime movies, so they're similar to that of The Dark Knight. However, this is why I think that the Dark Knight beats the Godfathers. Because the Dark Knight focuses on the good guy. Like, Dark Knight still has the good guy kind of come out. It focuses on a good guy. Versus the Godfather focuses on a bad guy. Hence why the Dark Knight movie is better than the Joker. Because the Joker movie, it focuses on the bad guy and almost makes you the bad guy, which to me just seems kind of odd. I mean, it's just odd that they root for the bad guy in the movie, in my opinion. I mean, the only movie like you root for the bad guy is Wreck-It Ralph. It's not really even a bad guy, just big boy with anger management issues. But you know, I guess they really thought it out well. And what they could have done for the first one, and they didn't, because the story where they wanted to allow it, it's focused more on like what the bad guys were doing. Like, and the reason they didn't was because they spent so much time on origins for him, which is fine. You know, it made the movie that much better. That they didn't really have time to go back and forth between the good guys and the bad guys story. They just really focused on the good guys, and they just kind of had the bad guys show up and explain it all at the end. And I mean, had the bad guy story, it would have worked better in some ways and not worked as good in other ways, but it would have made it like a 3-hour movie. So, you know, with this movie, they don't have to. With the Dark Knight, they don't have to prepare. You know, they don't have to do much into the origin story because, I mean, they already did that. So instead of spending that hour on, you know, origins, how to fight and all that cool stuff with bats flying out of treasure chest, you know, that part was a little weird to me. So they could spend it on giving that time to the bad guy. And while I said yes, it focuses on the good guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Still, like, I guess it still focuses on the bad guy, this movie. But what makes this movie good is that it focuses on the bad guy and the good guy, and the good guys get the hope. Like, in the Joker movie, and I'm pretty sure in the Godfather, there's really like no good guy. It's just like showing you bad guys. And I'm like, okay, good. You know, you can make the story as good as you want, but you have no hope. They're just like, oh no, there's people who bad. Like with Joker, you know, eventually he's going to become the Joker. So you're not like, you don't have hope for him. You're not like, oh, he might turn around. You're like, no, he's just gonna screw up, and then it's just gonna go down. You know?
Yeah, create chaos and all that.
Yeah, I mean, good story and all, but that's why the Dark Knight is the best movie. Plus, it's trying to make it fun. So, you have, I guess, the Joker lots of screen time, and you know, if you have like a Joker that's kind of a unforgettable Joker, like, you know, like Leto, you know, you don't need to give him a screen time, and you know, after they made the Dark Knight with that Joker, they decided they're like, well, we should give all Jokers, you know, some screen time, maybe it'll work better. And you know, in some movies it does. Like, you had, I'm pretty sure in the Killing Joke, I haven't seen it, but like, I'm pretty sure in the animated movie The Killing Joke, they gave the Joker like screen time, and it ended up paying off in the end because, you know, then you really saw like what his plan was with Robin and all that. However, like with Suicide Squad, they had no Batman, so really no sense of hope they're going to succeed because they're just bad guys. You're like, well, if they win, then they're breaking the point of being bad guys, and if they lose, then they're still breaking the point of being bad guys. I don't really get, like, if they lose, then they just prove that they're bad guys, but then you don't really get to see anyone come out winning.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
oh, they will fuck. The bad guys lost against the old bad guys. Like, you know? So, this video or this movie was pretty smart in its way that they just kind of carry on them. It's a 2.5-hour movie. And what you could have done, if you could have had, like, you know, you could have had Joker's whole story arc versus Batman, but really just break him down, like throwing everything he could, you know, destroying his character, making the entire city hate him, you know, and then, you know, proving him that even the best of good guys in their town could be the bad guy and turning Harvey Dent into Two-Face, right? And they could have ended it with that, and then, like, you know, then they could have had the third bad guy Two-Face for, like, an entire movie, you know, but no, they're like, let's just get one step further, so they just, you know, then they have an extra 45 minutes at the end of the movie that's, like, Two-Face's own little story arc, and you don't really see that Batman is even caring because Batman doesn't even know. And the Joker's like, haha, I still won. He's like, what you're talking about? You're hanging from a building by your foot. If there's cops all around you, you're surrounded. You're gone. You're going to jail. And he's like, I know, but I still won because I still proved you wrong. Harley Quinn's not Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn's still out there breaking rules and being illegal.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Louis Gwen movie. Louis Gwen.
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 Gwen Stacy.
Yeah. So, that's why I think it's the best movie. So, I would like to hear your opinion on it, Mr. Daniel.
I mean, like I've said before, it's very not cliche. All the times they think, like Christopher Nolan makes you think that it's going to be cliche, like, with the bank scene and the who's going to die first, Rachel or Harvey. Everyone's going to, super cliche part, But even the reasoning behind the Joker's bank robbery wasn't cliche. Because in most movies, it's just to get money. But in The Dark Knight, it was to show everybody that not even the most powerful criminals in the city are safe. And that even no matter how good you are, no matter how powerful you are, you can always be brought down to a psychopath's level. And that's what the Joker did, not only with Harvey Dent, but with the criminals of Gotham City. Because at the same time, he destroyed Gotham, okay, economically and morally. Okay, he took over. Well, he didn't even really take over the crime in Gotham City. He just showed that criminals motivations shouldn't be money. It should be about pure and total chaos.
Well, he basically he did a psychological test on the whole. It's really the movie's focus is Batman, Harvey Dent, but the way the Joker is as a bad guy almost makes him a main character for the entire trilogy. Even though they really his plan, or his have plan, but his scheme or whatever does not really carry on to the third one or really affect the first one.
It kind of
so much that
I mean, the first movie kind of sets up Gotham, gives us the frame of Gotham to show what it's kind of like, and then they emphasize that in the second one with Joker, and then the third one is the aftermath of Joker. So the first one's setting up for Joker, the second one is Joker, and then the third one's the aftermath of Joker, and what it emphasizes really what the Joker did and how effective he was against Gotham, how powerful a few bullets and a few drums of oil were.
Yeah. Well, and you look at The Dark Knight Rises, right, and Gotham has been left in ruins. There's not much left.
Yeah.
Batman has disappeared. The cops have nothing to stand for. All the major crimes that everyone has bought out, it's now gone. Now everyone's looking for money because they're getting paid from a mob.
Mm-hmm.
There's hardly any crime, but there's also hardly any people living. It's usually just a broke person's town because of what Joker did. Because Joker, when you say Harvey Dent was the one that brought down the mob, but it was really Joker.
Oh yeah.
I would do that because it was all part of the psychological test, but I would say it wasn't really Dent. Dent, this was who you rooted for in that movie. I explained this last night. I was like, you're not really rooting for Batman, and you're not really rooting for the Joker. You're rooting for Dent, throughout the entire movie. You're you want Dent to win because that's who everybody's fighting over.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost it's like when you're watching the Avengers. You want the Avengers to win, obviously, but you really want the people to survive.
Yeah.
You don't care if the Avengers win and kill Starry, but they also want to pull up the planet in the process.
Yeah.
Then you're wow, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
So it's who they're fighting over. In this movie, it's Gotham's soul that they're fighting over, And, you know, in Gotham Soul, that's where Dent sits.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that makes sense. But really, who you're rooting for in the movie, you're like, come on, man, you can survive, you can make it through this. And then just, like, does. And I guess everyone, that was almost expected. But you never knew. Like, you could have taken Dent and he won in this one, but then the next one he could have turned into Two-Face, or they could have taken the character Harvey Dent. So, like, everyone kind of expected him to be Two-Face, except me, because when I watched it, I honestly, like, had no idea that Dent was Two-Face. So I thought Dent become Two-Face. I was like, wait, that's like, yeah. I'm like, wait, that's Two-Face? Like, yeah. Like, was that how he was in the comic? I was like, yeah. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So,
And
you know, it was more of a surprise for me, but I don't know. It's a very good movie, right?
yeah. And then the fact that really none of the bad guys won. It was Joker succeeded in doing what he wanted to do, in showing the people of Gotham what he wanted to show them.
Yeah, no one won.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say anyone won. The mob lost.
Oh,
You know,
big
all
time.
he took down and embarrassed their leaders, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He predicted their loud squeal, then Death put him behind bars just because he just proved them that they're just a bunch of turds, and that they're just a bunch of cowards, basically, you know. And then Marconi got arrested, you know, and then there's like the mob was barely hanging on, and then Joker's like, I want half the money, you know, and then they taking down Batman because they didn't kill Batman because Harvey Dent comes out as Batman, and instead of Joker not using this as his expectation, he instead of using it to his advantage, he's like, oh, who's kill Harvey Dent? Everybody will think, oh, kill Batman, you know?
Yeah.
And so then he makes the mistake that he kills Batman, gets half his money, surprises the heck out of them by burning down basically all of their money, and then kills the last mob leader that could have had anything to do. And he's got a bunch of criminals running around. They're all driven by Dent tax. You know? He destroys the mob. He destroys Dent, and destroys that. He destroys Batman's legacy and like what everyone saw him as, you know. And he destroys Dent and what everyone saw him as.
Yeah.
And the only way the good guys can get the slightest victory is if Batman hits the fall for both. You know.
And he kind of did.
And then, you know, later, Bane uses that to his advantage. You know, against the entire city, against itself. You know, let's fall into chaos while he secretly plants a bomb and plants to blow the entire place up.
Exactly, yeah. And then...
But, yeah, it's definitely very good. So, I started explaining to you yesterday how you're like, so what's your favorite, like, what's your order from, you know, best to worst? And while they're all amazing movies, don't think that, like, whatever I put as my worst is a bad movie. It's still a great movie. But in my opinion, it's Dark Knight Begins and then Dark Knight Rises. And here's why. Because when it comes to Christopher Nolan, he's a very unique, almost, like, it's a very nice style when it comes to movies, you know? They're not, like, over-dramatized. Like, they're dramatic and all. And, like, you know, big action, but they're not over-dramatized. Like, when someone dies, you know, put in slow motion, make it take 4 times as long. You know, it's just, like, it flows nicer. Because, like, you know, you watch some movies and you're like, oh, you can tell this guy's gonna die. Like, 30 minutes before, and you just, like, basically watch them die. You know? Whereas with Dent and Rachel, you cannot tell they're gonna die until, like, they're dead. You're like, oh, he's gonna break your ass. You know, she's gonna be fine. Like, they kind of prolong her death just a little bit, but not really. It's just kind of like, boom, dead. Like, it's just like, oh, she's dead. And with Dent, it's just like, he's gonna kill the boy, what's gonna happen, and then just, bam, you get pushed off the roof and he's dead.
Yeah, and...
So, and also with the fact that he has amazing storylines and good crime stories, and, you know, gives you suspense and has awesome visuals, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And really puts it all into his movies. That really, like, makes him have a certain style. You know, another great thing about Christopher Nolan is that he never really puts unnecessary stuff in there. Like, some movies will just put a bunch of unnecessary F words in there for no reason. Or unnecessary inappropriate scenes for no reason. Or a bunch of unnecessary blood for no reason. Like, The Dark Knight itself has no blood, except for maybe, like, the little bit of blood you his face and Joker's scar. There's no, like, you don't see him pouring blood, I guess. And you only see Steven the other two. And there's very mild cursing and no inappropriate things. I guess it's the reason I didn't like the third one as much was because the third one put it in this way that, like, he kind of broke shit on us, I feel like, because they, first of all, made it to where, like, there was an inappropriate shenanigan in it, I guess. It wasn't horrible, but, you know, because of the way that they put it in there, it just was kind of annoying to say, and really, like, not, I don't know, like, there's just a few annoying parts of that movie that made it not as good. Like, the story was great, but, like, that and a few other annoying parts, like, first of all, Batman's in my name in that one, it's horrible. Like, afterwards, he goes back to his Dark Knight suit, but before that, he uses, like, this new fancy suit that really just looks horrible to me. So, you know, it's little stuff like that that I feel like Christopher Nolan kind of contradicting himself with that I just don't really like very much in that movie. Like, good movie and all, but that's why it's my least favorite.
Yeah, and there, in the third one, it's more of really Bane's goal was to bring Gotham to its knees physically, whereas the Joker made it exciting by bringing Gotham to its knees morally and psychologically. Like you said earlier, he wasn't attacking them. He was playing mind games with them. They drove themselves mad. He just pushed them along. Like he said, where's that Gravity quote? Madness is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
Yeah.
And he gave them that push and drove an entire city to madness and killed a main character.
Yeah, he killed two main characters. Honestly, like Rachel was.
Oh yeah.
I thought like the series was gonna end with him marrying Rachel, and get happy ever after and whatever, which is kind of cliche. They're like, oh no, we can't.
But it's Christopher Nolan. There is no cliche in these movies.
Yeah. So it's like, well, how do we stop this? It's like, well, we didn't have a cheap breakup. That's also cliche. It's like,
yeah.
True. So let's just kill her. Like, what? No, we'll make
it works. It works.
It works, man. And that's like that's a moving scene. Like that part's sad. But then like you really see like how it affects the afterwards.
Yeah.
That part's like really heartbreaking.
It was a good scene. The whole movie's a good movie.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's not like one scene in there that I question whatsoever. Like when you first watch it, you get like halfway through, you're like, okay, why are they showing this right now? Like the Mr. Lau thing, like when he's talking to Mr. Fox, Mr. Lau, or not Mr. Lau, sorry, Mr. Reese, which is from the trivia. So Mr. Reese is inspired off the Riddler, as was his inspiration, and he also, his name, Mr. Reese, sounds like mystery, which is just like Edward Nigma, Enigma.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so that's just some fun trivia for him.
Yeah, from Gotham.
Yeah, but Mr. Reese, like, it seemed like he really used the character. He just spent like 10-15 minutes of him talking to Mr. Fox about how he found out that in and everything, and then he just like shuts him up, and you're like, okay, I guess it's just kind of pointless. Then later in the play, Joker uses him as the main pawn and makes the city basically go crazy, and there's episodes that no one likes.
Yeah.
So every scene's used well.
No, you miss one scene, you might as well just not watch the rest of the movie. Like, it all fits in. Even the scene where where Mr. Reese threatens to blackmail Bruce Wayne, and even the scene where Gordon's in the police van with the officer and he's like, "Give me your gun." Just all of it adds to the plot. Every scene. In the What?
This has been great about. I do have to go. I'm sorry.
Oh, you do? Alright.
Yeah, I do. Dinner time, and I have to go do some cool stuff.
Oof. Okay.
But I will. This has been a fun live stream. If you know, to get some popularity and stuff, we'll do it again. Hopefully, it sounded all right to everybody watching. And I'll see you all next time.
It's one person. Alright. I will see you later.
All right, bye.
Peace.